Chapter 4 Nomad Hosts. The wind was blowing as Tuya hurried with Jack and Annie down the rows of yurts. "We live at the end," she said. "We are camping here for the summer. When the weather changes, we will move on." "So you and your family are nomads," said Annie. "Oh, yes, my people have been nomads here for thousands of years," Tuya said proudly. "That's so cool," said Annie. Tuya led them past goats, nibbling on bushes, and sheep grazing in the grass. A small boy was using large scissors to trim wool off a sheep. "Wow, that kid looks so young," said Jack. "Is he allowed to do that?" "Of course, he's my little brother. His name is Gon," said Tuya. "When I was his age, I learned to cut wool too. We use the wool for our clothes and to cover our yurt. I help care for the sheep and goats and the horses, camels, and yaks. And when we camp here in the summer, I get to be a junior ranger and help the nature reserve." "Oh, man, seriously?" said Jack. "You're so lucky," said Annie. Tuya stopped outside the red door of the last yurt. The smoke arose from a pipe sticking out of a hole in the roof. "Wait while I explain things to my mother," said Tuya. "I know she will be happy to have you stay here." She opened the red door and stepped inside the yurt. Jack pulled out their brochure. He read aloud. "Yurts are made of all natural things, a wooden frame, blankets made from sheep wool, and leather ropes. When it is time to move, it takes only a few hours to pack up a yurt." Before he could read more, the red door opened. "Welcome, Jack and Annie," said a woman in a long purple robe. She had a beautiful round face. "My name is Batu. I am Tuya's mother. Please come in." "Thank you," said Jack. "Nice to meet you, Batu," said Annie. Then she and Jack stepped inside the yurt. There were no windows, but the large round hut was glowing with candlelight. Along the walls were brightly painted cabinets, tables, beds, and low couches. A red carpet covered the floor. In the middle of the room was a black metal stove. "You are welcome to sleep on our couches tonight," said Batu. She pointed to two low couches covered with sheepskins. "But now you must sit down and share our lunch." "Thank you," said Annie and Jack. They sat with Tuya at a table near the stove. Batu served them hot, crisp bread, pale, creamy cheese, and milky tea. "Excuse me, I must check on Gon and the sheep," said Batu. "Enjoy your meal." After Batu left, Annie turned to Tuya. "Are you and your mother and little brother the only ones who live in the yurt?" "Oh, no," said Tuya. "I have a father and a big brother, too. They're helping Khan at the reserve now. They're senior rangers this summer, while I'm only a junior ranger." "What do junior rangers do?" asked Annie. "I have many jobs," said Tuya. "I count the deer, marmots, and gazelles. I only look for signs of wolves." "Wolves?" said Jack. "Are there wolves around here?" "Yes, they roam the nature reserve," said Tuya. "But you don't have to worry about them. They don't come into our camp." "What other jobs do you have?" asked Annie. "My father and brother taught me how to carve wood and make saddles," said Tuya. "My mother taught me how to make clothes, find plants for medicine, and forecast weather from the moon and stars and the clouds and the wind." "Wow, that's so cool," said Annie. "It is," said Jack. "My father is now teaching me to play the horse-head fiddle," said Tuya. She pointed to a stringed instrument leaning against the wall. The top of the fiddle was carved in the shape of a horse's head. "Oh, and I ride horses everywhere." "You have your own horse?" asked Jack. "My family has many. Maybe 70, said Tuya. 70? Are you serious?" said Annie. "Yes, there are many more than 3 million horses in our country," said Tuya. "As many horses as people. In Mongolia, we learn to ride as soon as we start to walk." "Oh, wow," Annie sighed. "I love that." "Do you have a car?" said Jack. "We did," said Tuya, "but my father traded it for 5 horses. They are much more useful." "I love horses." Annie said wistfully. In our country, almost everyone drives a car. Really? Said Tuya. Really, said Jack. We have lots of machines that do things for us. Right. We don't know how to do most of the things you do, said Annie. Now, about this surprise, said Jack. Could you give us a hint or something? Suddenly, Tuya's little brother stuck his head inside the door of the yurt. It's time, he shouted. Everyone's leaving for the reserve. Hurry! Tuya jumped up from the couch. You're about to see for yourselves, she said to Jack and Annie. Come with us.